Probably need. Okay. Okay. Switching up the little camera angles today. God damn. What hoodie like this, bro? All right. All right, y'all. This. Oh, this is screen. Let's hide this. Oh shit. Let's hide that. Let's bring this up. All right. Today, we're definitely gonna be reacting to a few things, but mainly real estate. And I'm your host. You know what I mean? This is not a podcast, but it is a podcast if it makes sense. Thank you for viewing, liking, commenting, subscribing my content. It is I am very, very grateful for that. Hold on. I'm very, very grateful for that. You know what I mean? It means the world to me. Y'all are great people for subscribing to me, even if you dislike or hate what I say. Uh, yeah, so I've been looking at a lot of real estate and I'm trying to figure out when it's going to crash because it's insanely expensive. And what's old dude's name? This is New York. So we're gonna do New York. Oh, okay, okay. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Like, comment, and subscribe. But we're gonna look at where is it? Where's Buddy at? Hope y'all having a wonderful day as well. What the fuck? His name is goes by Justin Martinez. Shout out to you. Thank you for the content as well, Justin Martinez. Because if it wasn't for you, what is your channel called, brother? What is your channel called? Hold on. What? All right, so we're gonna review a few of his videos, and yeah, so he just posted one for 500,000. Where is it? Where is it? Hold on, let me just go to his channel. Where's your channel, Justin Martinez? Papi chulo, where you at, man? The fuck? Is he a So this is New York real estate for 500,000. Let's see what. Let's just see what he's saying here. And then we're gonna go to the 2.5 million. Then we're gonna go to Atlanta, Texas, Colorado, and then we're gonna go to we're gonna touch on a little bit of EYL. Yeah. All right. Let's stop talking.
Your father knows about saving money. Everything I'm wearing, I've had since boot camp.
What's up, guys? So in today's video, I'm going to show you what below $500,000 get you in New York City. We're right in front of the Empire State Building, right behind me. It's cold and rainy. It's winter in New York City, but you guys like to throw me in the comments saying we can't afford these properties. These are properties you definitely can't afford, and I want to show you guys some cheap options since we couldn't get you what's the most affordable in every single borough. But I'm going to show you this video that there are a bunch of options below $500,000. Can't wait to show you guys this. Join me on this tour. By the way, before I show you these options, like this video, subscribe to this channel. We're trying to get to 4K before the year's out. Not sure if that's realistic, but it would be great if you guys can help me get as close to 4K as much as possible. So we're at 1255 Bushwick. This is 32 units, 7 floors. We're gonna check out apartment 1A, which is Abel Archibald's listing. He's an agent with Compass. Shout out to my Compass agents that always collaborate without ego. We're gonna show you what you get in Brooklyn below $500,000. Not a lot of options, so hope you guys like this one. Don't compare this to like Alabama, North Dakota. I've seen some comments about like North Dakota, comparing New York to North. Don't do it, guys, please. This is New York City. It's one of the most expensive cities in the world. But the point of these videos is to show you guys different price points, because it's not all $50 million listings in New York City. So this building has bicycle storage. It was converted to condos a couple of years ago. This is apartment 1A. This is a studio. I sold studios right around the corner on Hancock, 1064 Hancock last year. Everyone that purchased was like a first-time home buyer. So this is perfect for a first-time home buyer. If you rent in the neighborhood, renting is throwing your money in the trash. So this is a perfect alternative. You want to stay in Bushwick or you live near Bushwick but want to own your own property. So you walk in, coat closet to the right. This is to control your air. You do have a nice sized bathroom, soaking tub. If you want to take a bath at night and just decompress, there you go. So you do have your own laundry. In New York City, there was a thing where buildings didn't have laundry.
I'm gonna just tell you right now. This is a hell no. For five, how much did he say? To live in New York is like trying to live in a, man, that's a hell no.
Now it's become more and more typical to have laundry in your apartment. And this is it. This is the space. You have a nice sized kitchen. I love the farmhouse sink. Nice appliances. These appliances are actually Fisher and Paykel. So that's a really good brand. It's a German brand. This is the space, right? You could put a small two-seat table here, maybe like a desk here, your bed on this side, that way is away from the kitchen. You could set up like a couch here, and you could set up like the TV on this side. And then this owner, they added storage. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. We're gonna show you guys some of the amenities of this building, but let's talk about financials, right? So studios in this neighborhood, they went for about $2,500. So to own this, if you put down 20%, which I would recommend, but you could put down as low as 10%, but let's do 20%, that's just below $80,000 at $78,000.
Comment down below. Would you put $78,000 on a home that's a studio? I'd rather just rent it. No one. Yeah, no.
Your closing costs are gonna be like another, say 10K, so $90,000 out of pocket. So your property taxes are $500. You could apply for the New York Star program, which will save you 18%. Common charges are $325 per month, that's $325. Your monthly payment for this is gonna be $2,750. Comparing it to renting a studio for $2,300 to $2,500.
I know someone's there, but well, you can't compare New York to Colorado. Boy, I have a 3-bedroom, 2-car garage townhome for that amount of money. I know there's no comparison. New York is really a special place. I'm going there in 2 months. But this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
it makes more sense to own here because you're going to build up equity. You got to think of it as you putting money away in a savings account every single month, because if you did resell in like 3 years or 4 years or maybe even a year, you usually get your down payment back. And again, I'm going to point out my tax video. My tax guy, he talks about even if you sold for a loss, what their tax incentives are if you did sell for a loss. So let's see the rest of the building. I feel like this is like a perfect time to drink coffee. Look at this outdoor terrace. This is actually really nice. This could be used as an extension of your living space. Again, I know the studio is not a lot of space. You guys are gonna give me stuff in the comments. I know, but this is more extensions of your living space. Plus, there is parking that is being auctioned off. That's actually a good deal because they're selling it way below market. We sold our spaces at 1064 Hancock, which is just 2 blocks away for $60,000. These guys are just auctioned off because they have leftover parking. So I think this is a really good deal. So if you bought here for a starter home or investment, this is a really good deal because I think that apartment in the next couple of years is gonna go up to like $450. Quote me on that. Quote me on that. Call me.
He said they're selling spaces. You don't even get a garage. The building has its own garage, but a space for $60,000. So you're saying that I had to spend $500,000, more than $500,000, on a studio. In the studio. What does that sound, T-Pain? In the studio. No, no, and no.
Me in 2 years and let me know. So Bushwick is one of those neighborhoods that still is a pocket of value. It's right near Bed-Stuy. Depending on where you are in Bushwick, like if you're close to Whitecroft, you're close to the L train, and then if you're close to Broadway, you're close to the J train, which we're heading to now. But I'm from Bed-Stuy originally, so I'm very familiar with Bushwick. It's a lot of good food in Bushwick too. Let me know what you guys think about Bushwick. You're probably gonna see Bushwick more in future videos.
Who's coming in the driveway?
Staten Island.
Guys, back in Staten Island. So this is 100 Colfax Avenue. It's a 2-bed, 1-bath condo. This is actually the first condo we're seeing together in Staten Island. We've only seen houses so far, but it is a really affordable price point for a condo in New York City. So let's check it out. All right, guys, we're at 6H. It's a 2-bed, 1-bath condo. It's just under 900 square feet. So you walk in, you got this little nook here. In my opinion, this would be perfect. Put a seat, put your shoes on, or you could put your office here. But there is a coat closet when you walk in. This is actually a nice living room for this price point. It's actually really big. You overlook the Staten Island subway, and you do actually have some nice tree view and open views of Staten Island, which is great. So this is the first bedroom, so it's right off of the living space. Fits a queen size bed, have a closet here. And what's interesting about this, the kitchen is here. If you wanted to open this up, it could be done, but you really need a second bedroom and you're a late night snacker, kitchen's right here. You know, not the fanciest kitchen, but it does have a dishwasher, which you actually don't see a lot in this price point. And you walk in back here, linen closet. This is actually a nice deep closet. And then you have a full bathroom. And this is the primary bedroom. So massive primary bedroom. In this building, they have window units. And this is a post-war building. It was built after World War II. And this is a massive king-size bedroom. Like, this is gigantic, really nice size. So the building provides its heat, and this is the closet in the bedroom. So it's decent size. So this building does have laundry in the building. You're a couple of blocks away from the Staten Island Railroad. If you don't want to drive, right, this is about an hour away from Lower Manhattan. So what people do is they take the Staten Island Railroad, you take it to the ferry, and they're in Wall Street area within an hour. Most people don't like to drive to the city because there's just so much traffic. I mean, we experience it all the time taking these videos for you guys. So this is very commutable. So let's talk about financials. This apartment's asking $348,000. Might be able to negotiate it, you might not. With 20% down, that's just under $70,000. Budget about another $10K for closing costs. Your total out of pocket is gonna be around $80,000. Your monthly payment is going to be $2,636, and that includes
that's better than the other shit. And this is a 2 bedroom, but it's on Staten Island, so you're not in the heart of shit. But Staten Island is still cool.
Property taxes of $330 per month and common charges, aka HOA dues, of just under $600 per month. So obviously,
if a real estate agent ever sees this, can you comment and tell me how does a fucking apartment have HOA fees? Especially this old of an apartment. I can see the new ones where they have jacuzzis, pools, fucking prostitutes, all the amenities. But this shit, nigga.
this place also needs some updating. It needs some paint. You could update the bathroom if you want. You could update the kitchen. My guesstimation, I'm not a contractor, I would say a bathroom of that size could cost, 5 to 10. A kitchen with appliances could cost 10. And paint job, I mean, it could be like $2,000 on the high end. You could get someone to probably do it for $1,000, but looking at probably like less than 30 grand just to like fresh coat of paint, new appliances, maybe some new kitchens from Home Depot. I would honestly restain the floors, but that's not terrible. I mean, where can you get a 2-bed, 1-bath, $2,600 in New York? I mean, it doesn't really exist, guys. This is actually not a bad deal for this price. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and we'll see you guys in the next one. We're in the Bronx today. I'm gonna show you guys the second most affordable listing in the Bronx. So let's take a look, guys. Wow, I love these pre-war co-ops in the Bronx. They have so much character. Look at this lobby area. So they're split into 2 sections. You have some cool artwork here, and then you have another section here. And then you have elevators. Sometimes these buildings don't have elevators. All right, guys, so we're here. This is 3E at 675 Walton, $119,000. I'm just like blown away by the price. This is move-in ready. This is a really big studio. I don't know the square footage, but it feels like it's close to 600 square feet. You could fit a bed right here. You could set up your TV against this wall. You could set up maybe an office or a table. You have a bunch of closets. So just this walk-in closet here. So we're here. This is 3E at 675 Walton, $119,000. I'm just like blown away by the price. This is
I just see somebody that wants to have like a rental unit or hell, what is? Oh my god, why the fuck did that just happen? God damn! I just see somebody that can you rent? Where is he at again? Bronx. He's in the Bronx. Let's look up Bronx, New York rental. What do you call it? Rental rules. Oh, can you rent out your apartment? It says outlined in New York State multiple dwelling law, the New York Administrative Code, and the New York City Zoning Resolution to find out. Did you know? So legal rental. Should I put my apartment on Airbnb? The host center depends on the type of building. Well, New York's local law 18 requires hosts to register with the city, providing details such as proof of occupancy, lease or ownership, and identification. Properties on the prohibited building list are ineligible for short-term rentals. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see. Hmm. Hmm. Also, for food and drink, only if every guest is um, unobstructed access to every room. Apply and receive a short-term rental registration. Okay. I do not think this would qualify.
move-in ready. This is a really big studio. I don't know the square footage, but it feels like it's close to 600 square feet. You could fit a bed right here. You could set up your TV against this wall. You could set up maybe an office or table. You have a bunch of closets. So just this walk-in closet here. You have this nook. You only see this in pre-war, so there's a lot of character here. The floors look like they're original. They need a polish, but that doesn't cost much. This is a nice big coat closet. There's a bunch of storage up here, put suitcases. I mean, guys, for less than $1,500, most people think they could never afford in New York City. This is so affordable. Now check out this kitchen. Again, it does need some updating. Maybe you invest 10K in updating, like doing the paint job, updating the kitchen cabinets or some appliances. But again, you would own that and it'll boost the property value. There's a bunch of storage here. And then look at this bathroom.
I don't think you can boost the property value of an old ass place like that because the building outside is old. They have to redo the whole shit.
We do some slight updating, change the tiles, go to Home Depot, but again, you could update it with not much money. It is a studio, it is a co-op. This co-op actually allows you to put 10% down, which would be only about $12,000. Your monthly payment with the maintenance would be $1,469. The maintenance is only $738. People think New York City is just only expensive. You have gems like this, and that's why I'm making this video. The thing with these videos, when they're not my listing, like I have to work with other people's schedules. Like the $1 million video, it took us about a month to create that video just because we had to coordinate with other people's schedule to get access. The 2 and the 5 train, it's about an 8-minute walk, so you could probably get to Midtown in like 40 minutes, 45 minutes, which is not bad. That's a park over there. There's a dog running there, and there's City Bike down there. There's another one on the next corner too. So neighborhoods that are underserved with transportation, City Bike is a great option to get around the city. It's probably my favorite option too. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Now on to the next one. Guys, we just made it to Forest Hills. Train is right across the street. From Midtown, it took us 45 minutes on the M train. This is Queens Boulevard. You actually get a view of the city, actually. It's in the background. I don't know if you can see on the camera. Queens Boulevard is the main strip with all the restaurants and CVS and things like that. You're gonna see what 360 gets you, so let's take a look in a second. All right, guys, we're at Birchwood Towers in Forest Hills, Queens. This is a co-op building. It is post-war. It was built in 1964. This is the lobby, doorman, ton of amenities. So we're at 24K. Shout out to Sherwin Banfield. Also with Compass, we collaborate with our ego at Compass. But guys, this is $360,000. It's a gigantic 1-bedroom. You got like this foyer area. I mean, you could probably set up an office, some type.
Shout out to Devon T. We stayed at an Airbnb for my birthday in New York, and it was definitely a big 1-bedroom, but they sectioned it off to make it 2 bedrooms. The shit was funny as hell.
Type of breakfast nook. You got a ton of closets here. You guys always, make fun of me in the comments, but yes, I could fit inside. There's storage up top. Here's the kitchen. This is move-in ready. This is like fully done. You don't really have to do anything. Just bring your suitcase, toothbrush, then some of your furniture, or if not, buy this furniture from a stager. Forest Hills is one of the eastern parts of Queens. It's mostly co-ops here. With co-ops, they don't list the square footage. If I have to guesstimate, this is about 800 square feet, which is really large for a 1-bedroom. This is the sitting space. You have room for the dining area. They went with very minimal staging, but look how much space there is. You could get a bigger house than this. You do get some nice east views. So this peeks into, I would say, Long Island. It actually starts to look into Long Island, this section. Ceiling height is about 9 feet. People think these are like cheap tiles. These are actually hardwood parquet floors that last a really long time. You can sand them, stain them. They're really good in my opinion. So this is the bedroom area. This is space for the closet. As you're gonna see, a lot of these buildings in Forest Hill don't allow a laundry in the unit. All right, this is the bathroom. Finishes are nice. Then this.
Maybe it's a New Yorker thing. I just can't do the fucking dorm style living. Just can't. It would drive me up the fucking wall.
This bedroom, I mean, you can fit a California king in here. This is a queen bed. Again, very minimal staging. This is nice. This is a nice bedroom. And the views are nice too. We're on the 24th floor in this building, and we're almost at the penthouse level. And then look at these closets. These are like massive closets. Let me show you guys the rest of the building, then we'll go over the financials of how you can afford this place. All right, so we're going to laundry room and garage. There's a 2-year wait list for the garage, which is really typical in Forest Hills, but there is parking. You can get parking. So this is the infamous laundry room. It's a good amount of machines for the amount of units in the building, and it's card operated. Now we're gonna check out the garage. Oh, nice. You can even get like a Tesla or something. You have the e-charging, which is great. And there is a pool and gym as well. We just can't get access today, so we're gonna share the pictures of it. Now let's talk about the financials. So this is a co-op building, so you're gonna need at least 20% down. 20% down is gonna be around $72,000. For the co-op, you're gonna need a budget another 3% for closing costs. So that's an additional $10,000. So you gotta estimate a total out-of-pocket around $83,000. Your monthly payment is gonna be $2,871. Let me know if you guys will move to this listing. We'll see you guys at the next one.
Justin, I will not move to this listing. Thank you very much, brother.
We want to start shooting in 3 weeks, and your life rights are the last thing we need, so.
Gonna stop you right there, Ben.
All right, guys, so this is our last stop on what below $500,000 gets you in New York City. So this is $460,000. It's a 2-bed, 1-bath HDFC co-op. I'm gonna go over what HDFC means in a couple of minutes after we see this apartment, but we walk in, we don't have the square footage.
Hey, Justin needs some chili because that jacket like $1,400, $1,500.
But this is the bathroom. Sellers actually updated a lot of it. They did have tenants live here. They just moved out a couple of weeks ago. We just put it on the market. You have a closet here. So this is a nice foyer area. Good hallway to maybe add storage. Maybe you can add a seat to put on your shoes or something like that. This is the sitting and dining space. We're gonna share the photos so you can see what it looks like furnished, but you could fit a couch on this side. All of the electricals were updated, so there's a ton of outlets here. In the kitchen, a dishwasher could be added or a washer dryer. This apartment currently does not have a washer dryer, but the kitchen, I mean, gets the job done, has the nice appliances, and for at this price, you can't beat it. This is the larger out of the 2 bedrooms. So this bedroom, I mean, it could fit a queen bed, but this apartment's not the biggest apartment you're gonna see in all of these tours. But out of all of the locations, this is probably my favorite location. Nice closet space here. So this is the 2nd bedroom, good for like a kid's room. You could fit a queen bed. I mean, it's a good 2nd bedroom. This could also be your office. You have baseboard heating, so the building controls the heat, and they have window AC units there. I know you guys are gonna kill me in the comments, but it is what it is. Like, this building was built like in the 1950s. Let me just go over what the HDFC laws mean for this one. Long story short, you need to be at 120% median income based on whatever.
No, New York ain't a real place. This shit's crazy as hell.
Hey guys, in today's video, I'm gonna show you what $900,000 gets you in every single borough with a surprise at the end. So we're gonna show you 6 property in this video since you guys love these videos so much. And I appreciate all of the support thus far. We're almost at 3,000 subscribers. Like this channel, subscribe to this channel, and let's go take a look at these properties. All right guys, we're in Court Square in Long Island City. Long Island City is where I live.
Also, shout out to the people using the DJI Pocket 3. You feel me? I use that for my little blogs. Shout out to people doing it. I love when people using stuff I use. Shout out to Justin.
I'm excited to show you guys these 1 bedrooms. They're actually below $900,000, so. This is a 22 unit new condo building. They have the smart locks here. It's still under construction, so they're doing the final touch-ups before they get the certificate of occupancy. That's a big word for new development condos in New York City. This is is a 550 square foot, 1-bedroom. Though there's gonna be a lot smaller, but it feels a lot bigger. You have central air, you have a video intercom. This is the bathroom here. We're in Long Island City, so this is all about location, location, location. You're 10 minutes from my office at 53rd and 5th Avenue, which is in Midtown. This is the coat closet. You have Trader Joe's down the street. You have everything you can want. Long Island City is like fully developed now. This is the kitchen, Bosch appliances, quartz countertops. You have cabinetry space. You do have in-unit laundry, which is a big thing in New York City. This is the bedroom. I've shown you places in Astoria before, but like the bedroom is a little tight here, I'm not gonna lie. This is a queen size bed. They did a great job staging. This is the closet. I can't fit in all the way, but this is great hanging space. And then you have storage up here. I believe they're selling storage as well, like storage lockers for like.
You can't put a TV in there. This is good.
Suitcases and stuff, but I would actually customize this closet with like Container Store or California Closets. Probably cost like $1,000 to $1,500. Look at this view. It's actually a really nice view of Court Square. So this is the Court Square section of Long Island City, and this is 44th Drive. This is one of the main arteries in Long Island City. It's a nice space. The ceiling height's about 10 feet. You do have a balcony. It is cold today. It's like 30 degrees. They're actually gonna open a Guyu Kako, which is my favorite Japanese place ever, right across the street. So that's gonna be insane. And then you do have a view of Midtown. So this is really cool. All right, guys, I'm gonna do the financials for this one really quickly. So it's a condo building. You could put 10% down. You could probably do a little bit less. With 10% down, your down payment is gonna be $86,500. You gotta budget another 3 to 5% because it's new development. But again, if you've seen my previous videos, you know that could be negotiated. Your property taxes are gonna be about $200 per month. Common charges, AKA HOA dues, about $635. So your monthly payment with 10% down is gonna be $5,600.
Fuck no, baby. Fuck no, baby. I said, fuck no, baby. I said, fuck no, baby. Baby, I said, fuck no. Fuck no. Baby, I said, fuck no, baby. Hell no. Nigga, wish the fuck I would.
$21. That does not include your property insurance, so that'll probably be another $100, but say like $5,700 per month. But if you did 20% down, which is $173,000 out of your pocket for your down payment, your monthly payment goes from $5,700 basically to about $5,000. So in this scenario, it's probably better to purchase than to rent because the rentals in this neighborhood are $4,000 to $4,500. So essentially, you're paying down your mortgage every month and building equity and not throwing away money on rent. You can never get that money back in rent unless you could write it off on your taxes or something like that, which we went over with my accountant last time. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm gonna show you guys the roof deck in a second, but I'm also gonna show you a more affordable option too. I'm gonna show you a more affordable option now. All right, guys, so don't mind this second mic. We're also taking Instagram Reels. Follow my Instagram, by the way. But you walk in, back from here. So this one is listed at 475 square feet, which I thought was crazy small before I saw it. You have the laundry here, kitchen, quartz countertops, same finishes. This one faces south, so you get the sun streaks in the afternoon. Gonna be a really nice light. And you do have the balcony, so it's great that they did outdoor spaces. And I guess all of the one beds. I like the view in the other one better, but you do get a nice view of Court Square. And then this is the bedroom. It's a generous size for the price point, but this square footage feels a lot bigger. And I feel like this closet is actually better. Oh, I just hit my head. But you do get the floor to ceiling windows, 10-foot ceiling height. Just to give you the numbers, we're in the 4th floor, so this is $735, but on the 2nd floor, it starts at $698. For the $698 one, with 10% down, property taxes are $162, HOAs are $500, slightly less than the last one. $4,500 per month. That does not include insurance. With 20% down, your monthly payment is gonna go from $4,534 to $4,100 per month. In this scenario, it would make more sense to buy because this is actually cheaper than renting for like $4,000 to $4,500. All right, guys, so I'm gonna show you guys the common roof deck as well. Elevated building, you do have a common garden, which we couldn't see because it's under construction. Virtual doorman, there's gonna be a package room. I honestly really like this building for the price. Oh.
Yo, if you're born in New York, you were indoctrinated to like capitalism. You born with either debt or $100 million. This is crazy.
Oh, look at the view. Look at that view. All right, guys, so this is the common roof deck for the entire building, so everyone has access. So in addition to your private outdoor space, you get this common roof deck, which has amazing views of Midtown and Long Island City. You get some of the best views when you're away from the waterfront as opposed to being on the waterfront. Nice, they put some furniture. And this view is actually getting really nice too, right? Like Core Square views, and then that iconic Queensboro Bridge view. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Shout out to the Bedoni and Shen team at Net Seekers. Really appreciate them letting us tour this new development. See you guys at the next one.
I'm a rider, solo, home daily driver.
My name's Diana Harrod, and I've been here for almost a year.
This position is no touch.
All right, guys, we're almost there. Still learning about Staten Island, so I'm not as versed with the neighborhoods as I am the rest of the city. You guys see me, what, 4 other videos coming to Staten Island? Besides that, been to Staten Island like 4 other times in my entire life. All right, guys, so we're at 219 Freedom Avenue. This is the
That bitch is $900,000. I hate when they go, ain't no, nigga, this put it at $1 million.
mid-island section of Staten Island. You walk in, you have the kitchen, which is straight ahead. Everything was imported. Everything in the house was redone in the last 10 years. You have like these marble knobs, which is pretty cool. You have this cool skylight here. You have central air. This is the sitting space and probably a dining space also. You have this fireplace here. Out of all the houses we've seen in Staten Island, this is probably the best one I've seen so far. Look at this thing. That's a laundry chute right there that goes downstairs. This is the linen closet.
All right, I'm over the New York shit. It is. No. Damn, she's searchable. She would get the chili. And she's only at 9,000. Let's see. Let's see what you're doing so far.
My name is Natasha.
She is fine. Oh, I don't like letting the women be fine though. I ain't gonna lie to you, big dog. She. Oh, let's see. 10 months ago, 3 years. What? She hasn't posted in a minute. Oh, here we go. Let's look at Bennett County.
Hello, YouTube fam, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Natasha Bazile, your favorite relatable Georgia realtor. I specialize in new construction, relocation, and dual moves, which is selling your starter home to buy your next home, or even better, your dream home. I'm back today to give you another home tour, but before we get into it, if you're new here or you find my channel informative, please do me a huge favor. It's free and it helps me. Hit that like button, leave a comment, even if it's just to say hi, and subscribe for weekly videos, which include home tours like this and a variety of other real estate related topics. Also, if you're in the market searching for a new home, visit my website at ganewhome.com to get access to new construction homes based on your own criteria. And if you're ready to purchase now, or you're looking outside of Georgia, or you want to buy a resale home, which is an existing home, schedule a quick chat with me at www.calendly.com/sold-by-nat. Now on with the show. All right, we are here. This is Alicia, future real estate agent, right? Yes. We don't claim that? Okay. And we have lovely Marquis Fee.
Hello there.
My sister in real estate for I don't know how many years.
A long time.
And she reached out to let me know that she is now with Pulte Homes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We're in Grayson. We're at Bennett Park today. But you said you're here for the week covering.
Yes.
Where are you normally?
So I will be actually at Hundreds Creek in Flowery Branch. That is one of our newest communities, just opened on October 26th, so definitely come on out. It's a beautiful community there.
So, question for you, with Pulte Homes, I know it's 50, well, with this community, 55 plus.
Yes.
What if somebody has like their grandchild? Like what is the kind of the not deed restriction, the covenant restriction that talks about like kids? I always wondered that.
Yeah, so typically, just across the board, when you think about an active 55 community, as long as one individual is of that age, 55 and plus, but the other adult has to be at least 18. Okay. Now, some various communities will restrict in terms of the length of time that a grandchild or someone under 18 can stay. Mm-hmm. Some restrict it for as little as 5 to 7 days. Some do 2 weeks. It really just depends on the builder.
No, I'm not touching on that. You ain't gonna get me, bitch. Where is what do you think? Lithonia? No, I wouldn't live in Lithonia. He got a 6 bedroom? No, that's a. You're wrong. They didn't last long. Let's see what you. Well, all right. Let's see what he has to. No, no. This video's too long. Let's see what he has to say.
Are you ready to see your brand on TV? Your competitors will wish they had known about Vibe.
Is the Georgia housing market about to head into a big downturn at the end of 2024, entering 2025? In this video, I'm going to give you the data as a Georgia home buyer investor so you can understand where the market is heading and make a more informed decision. And the first thing we're going to do, everyone, is look at the inventory levels in Georgia, the levels of supply data on Reventure app. You can see we've had a big spike in supply over the last year from 27,000 homes to over 40,000 homes on the Georgia housing market, a roughly 49% year-over-year increase. That big spike in inventory has now caused sellers across Georgia to begin cutting prices, especially in certain parts of Atlanta. With home values now trending down on a month-over-month basis in Fulton County, Clayton County, DeKalb County, and even Cobb County up to the northwest Marietta, values are starting to drop. Of course, values across Georgia are still very, very high. They boomed during the pandemic with all those people that moved in from New York, California, and Illinois. They bought up the homes in Georgia because they were cheap 3 to 4 years ago, thereby pushing the prices way up for locals. For instance, you can see that the typical value of a home in Atlanta jumped from $240,000 prior to the pandemic to $380,000 today, a massive increase that registers 60% growth over the last 5 years. In addition, a market like Macon has appreciated by 56% over the last 5 years, while Savannah has appreciated by 68%. Take a look at that, everyone. The typical price of a home in Savannah jumped from $200,000 prior to the pandemic to over $340,000 today. That's one of the fastest growth rates in America. So the question facing you guys out there as Georgia home buyers and investors today is, when's the right time to buy? The values went way up during the pandemic. They became very expensive. Now they're starting to drop due to a big surge in inventory, but just how much are they going to drop into the future? And are we going to see a crash play out in Atlanta, in Savannah, much like we saw back in 2008? Home values in Georgia went down a lot in that last crash from 2008 to 2012. In Atlanta, values went down 35%. In fact, there were zip codes in Atlanta where values went down 70%. So could we be on the precipice of that type of big crash, or is this going to be just more of a modest correction? Well, I want to show you folks one thing that has me concerned in Atlanta specifically, and that's the fact that investors are now selling. Take a look at this listing. It's a 5-bed, 3-bath, 2,600 square feet on the market for only 300 grand. That's only $116 a foot. And you can see here the value estimate on this property has dropped from a high of $397,000 in 2022 all the way down to $293,000 today. So that's about a 25% decline in value. We're getting back closer to what it was before the pandemic. And if you look on the listing, you could see that this was owned by an investor. They tried to rent it out. They kept cutting the rent throughout August and September, and then eventually they made the decision to sell. Now, that investor on that house in Atlanta is a company called Progress Residential. They bought that home for way cheap at the bottom of the last housing crash in 2013, something like 130 grand. Now they're trying to sell it for 300 grand. And I'm just seeing more and more of these investors in Atlanta, in Georgia, begin to sell. And when you see the investors begin to sell, particularly the big institutional investors, that's going to just cause you to stop for a second and say, hey, what's going on in this market? Particularly in these zip codes in red, everyone, around the Atlanta metro. And I'm going to get into some other parts of Georgia here in a second, but I really want you folks to focus on Atlanta for a second. Because what we're seeing is really interesting. These zip codes in red have what's called an inventory surplus right now. Like out in Lithonia to the east, inventory is now up 99% from the long-term average. Listings have spiked from around 100 to over 300 in 30058 in DeKalb County. So when you see that inventory spike, that's telling you investors are selling, supply spiking, prices are likely to drop. And the metric really to focus on here on Reventure app, everyone, is the inventory surplus or deficit. If you are in an area in red with an inventory surplus, it is much more likely that home prices decline. So much more likely that prices drop in these areas in red, whereas in these areas in blue to the north, in these wealthier suburbs in Atlanta up towards Brookhaven and Dunwoody and Roswell and Sandy Springs, you could see that inventory is still in a deficit. There's still a shortage of inventory in these zip codes in blue. Like out in Roswell, you could see before the pandemic we had 350 homes for sale. Now we only have 170. So the inventory is improving, but it's still low. So that's why the Reventure app home price forecast for 30075 in Roswell is still saying prices up. And
I think that's going on everywhere, which is the fact that, so I live in Colorado, to give you perspective, and Colorado, we're seeing homes sitting way more. I don't know, well, not even to be speculative. There's a lot of investors that bought into Colorado, and now they're selling as well.
what I'm going to impress upon you guys as buyers, investors, realtors, mortgage brokers, if you want to understand your market, you got to zoom in at the zip code level and look at that data on the inventory surplus or the inventory deficit, because that data point in and of itself is going to reveal huge realities about your local housing market. If we're in an inventory surplus, much more likely prices drop. If we're in an inventory deficit, more likely that prices increase. And we're still in an inventory deficit in a lot of wealthy areas in Atlanta, particularly this house. It's a new build in Buckhead. 5 beds, 6 baths. It's $5 million. Look at this house, everyone. Looks really, really nice. Absolutely beautiful house. It's a mansion in Buckhead. But you say to yourself, I mean, who has the money to buy a house like this? I mean, the estimated monthly payment is going to be over 30 grand a month. When you zoom in here on these areas in northern Atlanta near Buckhead, you can see some of the typical home values in these zip codes are insane. Like 30327, the typical value is 1.4 million. That's just the standard house is 1.4 million. So we still have a lot of wealth here north of Atlanta that's still buying homes and pushing prices up. But on the south side, east side, in these areas in blue, we're starting to see the downturn play out. But just how much could home prices fall? I think that's the question that a lot of you want to know the answer to. Are we going to see a 5% correction, a 10% correction, or is it going to be something more along the lines of 20 or 30%, maybe more? Well, to answer that question, on Reventure app, we have a data point called overvaluation rate. And this data point helps you understand how over or undervalued home prices are compared to the long-term norms in your area relative to income. Because ultimately it's the income levels in your area which dictate how much money people have to buy homes. And so if the prices go up way more than the incomes, that's a signal that maybe we're in a bit of a bubble and maybe the situation isn't so sustainable. And I want to show you guys what I'm talking about here, because if you're a home buyer, you need to know this information. So if we were to go, for instance, to the Atlanta as a metro and open it up here, and we click a data point called fair home value here on ReventureApp, you can see this gray line shows what the fair home value is relative to income. So October 2024, the fair home value in Atlanta is $286,000 based off income, but the actual value is $380,000. So this signals a bubble. This signals that we have price downside.
Why don't you own an apartment building? I'm serious right now. Let me show you a path that could change your life, your financial future.
In the Atlanta metro, on the order of around 25 to 30%. You can see actually, though, this wasn't always the case. In 2017, going back all the way to 2008, the fair home value in Atlanta was
People always joke, damn, I shouldn't have been being a kid. I should have been buying a home. Like, I did it. Like, shut the fuck up. Because, nigga, we don't know this shit.
higher than the actual home value. So actually in this period from 2008 to 2017, home values in Atlanta were undervalued. So really what you want to do as an investor or a buyer, like if you want to
This lady be getting hell views. That Lord. What the hell? Let's see what this looks like.
Hello everyone, this is Janine.
I do not want to look at that. Does she only do luxury?
Hello everyone, this is Janice Carty, Atlanta real estate agent, bringing you another property tour. And today we're in Marietta, which is northwest of Atlanta. We're in the Freestone Station subdivision, and I'm going to take in a tour of their model home. The builder is Toll Brothers, and this is their hillside floor plan, which features 5 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, guests on the main, 2-car front entry garage, and it's approximately 3,403 square feet. The schools serving this community are Dowell Elementary, Loving Good Middle, and Hillgrove High. So if you're looking for a new 5-bedroom home northwest of Atlanta, you like this floor plan and would like additional information, please send me an email. My contact is below. And now let's go inside and take a look around.
Wonder why they call it the powder room. Has white people been doing coke that long? Have y'all been brother and whipping slaves? Probably, yeah. Especially in good old Charles Bush.
I was just feeling sick. And it was the worst day. Mom was crying.
Hello everyone, this is Janice Cart, the Atlanta real estate agent.
This is like the house Jacquees using in that video. And whatever. Oh, I can't remember what the fuck song it was. This looked just like that house. That house was beautiful. Get more bang for your buck with this.
Bringing you another property tour. And today we're in Atlanta, we're in the High Point community, and I'm going to take in a tour of a new construction home. The listing agent is Vicky Rose.
Funny Marco lived by here, I believe. Hey, Funny Marco, deal with me, nigga. Stop being a hoe.
With Remax Center. And this home was built in 2024 and features 6 bedrooms, 6.5 baths, guests on the main, 3-car side entry garage. It sits in a finished basement, and it's approximately 7,535 square feet. So if you're looking for a new 6-bedroom luxury home in Atlanta, you like this home and would like additional information, please send me an email. My contact is below. And now let's go inside and take a look around.
God damn. If Diddy was still out here, it'd also be immaculate. Diddy would just rip this home out. Fuck out every wall, every inch of the house. He not up out and in that out. Pack me up. I'm dead. Fuck it. That was crazy. All right. Let's see. Rich. What was that fucking thing now? Let's see. There we go. Yep, here it is.
See, that's why I don't even play with my money like that. I know exactly when, where, and most importantly, how my coin is being spent.
See, I need to get on that because she had me way over budget that week.
We all know that real estate is inherently local. However, a strange trend is unfolding in the United States. While the broader market remains highly competitive and optimistic, one particular region is undergoing a massive correction. This has led many to speculate that a major crash might be on the horizon. Though the rest of the country appears stable, the signs of instability in this area hint at deeper issues that could spell trouble ahead. To understand how people are coming to this conclusion, it's crucial to turn to a leading expert in the field and not just some YouTuber babbling on about stats. This is Robert Shiller. Shiller is a renowned economist, academic, and author who has made significant contributions to the study of real estate markets. He co-created the Case-Shiller Index, widely regarded as the gold standard for tracking housing prices. If there's anyone who has extensively studied real estate trends dating back hundreds of years, it's Robert Shiller. His book, Irrational Exuberance, first published in 2000, served as a predictive warning to investors about the overheating housing market, which eventually led to the 2008 financial crash. Shiller's insights and indicators have proven invaluable for understanding and predicting market dynamics. By analyzing historical data, psychological factors, and economic indicators, Shiller provides a comprehensive framework for assessing housing market conditions and potential risks. So how did he predict the last crash, and what can we learn to anticipate in today's market? It turns out that in his book, he focused on three main factors: rapidly increasing home prices, price-to-income ratios, and speculative buying. Let's break these down to understand why some people think another 2008-style crash is coming. First, let's examine the number one point: rapidly increasing prices. There's no doubt that home prices have surged well above normal levels. However, Shiller's Case-Shiller Index, commonly referenced on the St. Louis Fed website, doesn't fully capture the extreme nature of this surge. Currently, we're experiencing a significant increase in prices across nearly every state from California to New York, with even more severe rises in southern states. The Case-Shiller Index, at least the one covered by popular media, only covers 10 metro areas, with Miami being the only major southern city included. This limited scope unfortunately does not reflect the full extent of the market's volatility. For example, in Miami, from roughly July 2001 to June 2006, the Case-Shiller Index increased by 136% right before the bubble burst in the 2008 crash. This period, which I'll call the 08 buildup, lasted about 5 years. In the most recent buildup from around the summer of 2019 to now, prices have risen by about 85%, signaling a similar trend. While the growth hasn't been as extreme, when you factor in interest rate changes and insurance changes in Florida, it can be argued that this recent buildup is just as concerning as the one in the early 2000s. In other southern cities, the story is the same. People are frustrated with the rapid growth this region has experienced over the last 5 years, and it doesn't seem to be reversing anytime soon. If we judge the market based on the factors outlined in Shiller's book, Irrational Exuberance, it's not unfair to say that this market easily ticks the first box of a bubble: rapidly increasing prices. Now let's move to the second box: price-to-income ratios. Throughout the country, affordability is plummeting. The price-to-income ratio measures how much a typical person earns and what percentage of that income they need to spend to afford a typical home. Breaking this down by region and using Miami as an example, you can see that affordability is far below historic levels. This means people are financially stretched to own a normal home, or there's a lot of speculation and outside money entering the market, expecting equity to continue rising. This is seen as typically unsustainable and is yet another piece of evidence that we may just be in a bubble. Now back to Shiller for a second. He's recently gone on record to say that prices are getting out of control. In an interview with CNBC last March, he told the audience that clearly they should consider waiting to buy, as prices would likely cool off. So far, he's been wrong, but that doesn't really change his rationale. You can hear him talk about it in this clip. While nobody, including this renowned economist, is going to tell you not to buy just because housing is such a big family decision that's way more than just purely financial, it doesn't change the fact that we're currently living in an era far above historical norms. Take a listen to him explain.
Hiking 25 basis points at its last meeting, despite the recent bank failures of SVB and Signature. And as borrowing costs rise, what will the ripple effect be on residential and commercial real estate? Joining us now, Yale professor of economics, Robert Shiller. Professor, we're so happy to have you on the show today. We're going to get a bevy of housing data this week, including Case-Shiller Home Price Index tomorrow. Right. We have this brewing debate about whether we've seen a bottom or even at least a stabilization in the housing market. How do you see it?
Well, it's easy to forecast the short run in the housing market. Not so easy to forecast if you're a long-term buyer. It's not clear. But home prices are very, very high, and by historical standards. I would extrapolate the downturn somewhat. It's going to continue. Maybe if you have a chance to delay your purchase, it might be a good time to do it.
Robert, I want to go back to housing for a moment. How does this affordability standoff that we see in residential real estate end? I mean, we've got extremely low inventory, high interest rates. Is it going to take higher unemployment to break landlords' ability to increase rents? And from there, the investments don't pencil out anymore, and therefore they got to dump them, and inventory rises and prices drop, or something else?
Yeah. Well, that's the capitalist system with a central bank. I think it works pretty well most of the time.
So more people have to be. This shit is sick. He said it. He hit right on the nail on the head. It's just the capitalistic system. You have to be poor in order for them. So many people have to be poor so the rich can feel it. It's crazy.
I wouldn't tinker too much with it. We have smart people on the Fed, and the Treasury Secretary I admire, Janet Yellen. They may have to accept, however, I think this is as Jerome Powell has put it, they may have to accept something of a recession.
But for the housing market, how should the people at home who are maybe thinking about selling a home, you kind of addressed thinking about buying a home, how should they expect this to play out? If you have a chance to sell your house now, even if it's for a little less than you wanted, do you go ahead and do it because higher inventories are inevitably coming?
I wouldn't say inevitably. I would say that it's likely to be some more declines. So, but I hate to, home purchase is such a family decision. I hate to overreact. So we do have a declining market at the moment. But, there are costs to not selling at the right time, the convenient time, or you might lose a house that you liked to somebody else. So I don't think it's an easy answer to that question.
This is how to get in shape fast.
If you want to drop this, start eating more of these. You might think this would take years to...
When these price-to-income ratios go beyond historical norms, rapid normalization often occurs unexpectedly. People know that now is a horrible time to buy, and this sentiment is reflected in the University of Michigan's Consumer Sentiment Survey, which has tracked home buying conditions since the 1960s. Looking at the long-term chart, it's clear that we're essentially at an all-time low for buying conditions. Never before in history have people been this pessimistic about their ability to buy, with data going back over the past 60 years. That makes check 2. Now for the last point, speculation. It's true that in the early 2000s, especially in Florida, there were loose regulations that allowed people to borrow excessive amounts of money and engage in fraudulent activities from the top down. From investors, agents, and appraisers to banks, lending institutions, and even the federal government, many individuals were involved in practices that made them a lot of shady money. This created an environment where people turned a blind eye to fraud and greed. It's almost unquestionable that prior to the last big bubble, there was much more speculation in the real estate markets. A significant part of this was due to subprime lending and loose loan regulations, which have since been tightened. However, this aspect remains highly questionable. Without a doubt, there is still plenty of speculation, especially in southern markets, but determining whether it has reached a tulip level of greed is challenging. If we look at home flipping as an example, the raw home flipping rate, which is the number of homes flipped in a quarter, is definitely concerning. Currently, we're at 68,000 homes, a number not far off the 2006 highs right before the market crash. To make matters
housing is becoming more and more unaffordable. Rents are going up. I think at some point in time, you have to have some legislation that's put in place, because if not, every single home in America will be owned by a hedge fund or a major financial institution. Everybody's going to be forced to be a renter anyway. There's a shortage of homes on the market in a variety of different places in America, which is also causing home prices to go up. There's a housing crisis. If you graduated college, you're 25 years old, like, where are you going to live? If you live in any metropolitan area, like, how are you going to live? Housing is becoming more and more unaffordable. Rents are going up. I think at some
Well, hello there. Courtney Murphy, Denver Metro Realtor here to give you your November 2024 real estate market update. And the question of the day is the Denver real estate market rebounding? You know, if you take a look at the numbers, it kind of tells that story. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So the median sales price in the month of September, at the end of September, remember we are end of October. It's the year is going so quick. I'm not even sure where I'm at, but I'm going to do my best for you. But we'll be looking at the October numbers, since I won't have November till December. But the median sales price at the end of October came in at $599,975. This was up 4.34% from the prior month. That's quite a significant jump from September, and up 3.27% over October of 2023. So, but up both month over month, year over year, looking good, right? The number of sold homes.
People do not make good content like other places. Grand Junction, they will call you and do not move there if you black. I'm gonna tell you right now. They both ugly. I'm sorry. That's good though. Damn, no one does content in Colorado. That's crazy. Fruta, like no one's moving there. Mm, there we go. What's her name?
Are you worried that using your home address for business puts your privacy at risk? At iPostal One,
if you're looking for the best neighborhoods to buy real estate in Colorado Springs, you're probably asking yourself the question, where do I even start? This is one of my favorite neighborhoods in Colorado Springs, and the reason I like it so much is that it's private, it's quiet, it's beautiful out here, and it's close to all of my favorite things. And the best part is the taxes are lower and there's no HOA. So most of your money is going towards the mortgage. Colorado Springs is the second largest city in Colorado, and many people have a hard time wrapping their minds around what neighborhoods they should move to or where the best neighborhoods are. And if I were relocating to Colorado Springs, these are the areas that I would choose, and I will explain why. But make sure you stick around to the end of the video where I'll show you an up and coming bonus neighborhood and home tour that everyone is talking about that you don't want to miss. It's an area that I think is going to explode over the next lot of nature. You know, people that are around nature, they do tend to be happier when they're around that kind of thing. I know for myself, I know that there are studies that have shown that people are a lot happier. Not to say that people that live in the Broadmoor are happy, because, you know, you have to close to Schriever and Peterson. So if you're going to be coming out here to do Space Command, then that is going to be a perfect location for you. What people love about the homes is the style of the new construction. They love the nice open airy spaces with great rooms and direct access from the main level to the backyard. So as soon as you walk in, you can see straight to the backyard and it's all open space. There's these giant windows that is letting a lot of natural light in, and it just makes people happy. The ceilings come in around 9 feet or more, and that's usually standard for these newer homes, and that gives the feeling of a lot more space. And even in these smaller square footage homes, they just feel much bigger because
So you're thinking about moving to Frisco, Texas, and you want to be in possibly the hottest and probably going to be one of the most popular master plan communities in Frisco's history, and that is Fields Frisco. But at the same time, you want a little bit of a discount right now. We're talking up to $115,000 off certain properties right now as they close out some of the first phases here in Fields. Now, it's not gonna be this one, which is an amazing modern farmhouse right behind me, but this one I have to take you inside to show you because I have not seen a modern farmhouse quite like this one. We're gonna come back to it in just a minute, but I wanna take you over to some of the last opportunities and your best chance to get into Fields Frisco for less than $800,000. And these homes have had a recent price reduction for up to $115,000. So let's get started there. All right, now there's a lot of development happening here in Fields Frisco, and as you can see behind me, they're starting to throw these homes up quick. Oh, we got Maria's Catering coming in here right now. We might have to get a little something. It is getting close to lunchtime, but you'll see here, I mean, they're popping up these homes left and right. We have really gotten down on the construction phases. A lot of Brookside here is getting built out. You can see the homes are getting finished out, especially on this street for this particular builder. And that's why we wanted to pop over here and show you real quick before we go back to the modern farmhouse. Because by the way, that modern farmhouse, just over $1 million. So if that's not your price range, this should be, again, less than $800,000. Now this one, they just finished out, but because we're kind of closing up and they're closing out their last, homes here, they're willing to do some deals. Now walking into this side again, I've got a little cheat sheet here. They've got few homes left. Now, actually, by the time you see this video, as of right now, the main thing is you want to reach out. All of our information is below to see exactly what they have left, but up to $115,000 off the price of these homes that are left because they finished these out. These are what they call spec homes, inventory homes. And so they're building them up, but they don't have a buyer for it right now. But that's okay because that means a discount's for you. So you'll see walking in here, you've got your main living area, which merges into the kitchen. You could even have a dining table over here if you wish. And overall, really good use of the space that you see in here. Now, you've got sliding glass doors that...
What's the median income for Frisco? Okay. They getting money down there in Frisco. It's pretty crazy. Oh wow, everywhere's going through it. The fuck is she doing? Where is that shit at? I should have saved all this, but oh, this is it.
Wix gives you the freedom to tell your story.
Much of Australia is turning into a buyer's market.
Folks, is little...
Oh no, hell. Silent depression, no way we live in America. Yeah, Wall Street. Hey, Wall Street's buying up all the houses, investment firms, all that shit. It's capitalism is destroying. Capitalism is going so crazy. It's probably going to implode. When it implodes, all poor people are just start eating the rich. I'm just gonna say that. What was the other thing I wanted to react to my fellow subscribers? Oh, this is a perfect example. Joe Budden. Why he's In the studio. Truth revealed. No, that's not him. What the fuck? He just did it, Joe. Get out there.
Joe Budden confirms he was kicked out of his studio.
The bylaws of the town, because now the town is involved, says that you cannot film anything in any of those buildings.
Oh.
That's the long and short of it. Now, you could choose to fight that and go to court and spend the money, but somebody over there got the town involved, and that's what it is. For me, I didn't want none of my people to continue to be surveilled and scrutinized and treated a certain way.
Yeah. On the last episode of the Joe Budden podcast, Joe gave us some insight into what exactly is going on behind the scenes. And this was coming direct from the horse's mouth, but it also comes on the heels of my video where I said that a source close to the situation told me that Joe got rowdy with a neighbor and the neighbor decided to get rowdy with him. Now, a lot of people said my video was a bit of a reach, but I think it aligns with what Joe said on the pod. Apparently, there is a neighbor who did not enjoy that Joe Budden was recording his podcast out of his studio. And that studio happened to be a really, really expensive condo. And you know how really, really expensive apartment complexes can be. They often are very restrictive and have high power people behind them. Like, I'm assuming that Joe is far from the richest in his condo because, I mean, if you're paying $2 million for a condo, you probably just have a lot of resources. And Joe may have fought a battle that he would ultimately lose. So now this basically confirms that the podcast won't be recording there much longer, if at all. And this is a big change for the Joe Budden podcast, as Joe Budden did say that he was planning on making some serious changes in 2025. And this was all before all of this drama. And I think those changes were what we saw over the last few months. That's things like doing the pod without Joe Budden being there. I think that in 2025, Joe's going to have them record a lot more episodes by themselves while he interviews some of the highest folks in the game. For example, he might interview Umar Johnson by himself. He might interview Candace Owen by himself. Because I think that more people would be okay with Joe-less pods if more Joe Budden-centered content came out. I know I've been watching some folks thinking that Joe Budden is going to hide himself behind the Patreon and put the podcast for free without him, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Joe knows the power of visibility, and if you make everything premium, then you become less visible and other folks might encroach on your success. But let me know what you think. Do you feel like this is a big setback for the Joe Budden podcast? What do you think Joe does next? I think he is likely to get a studio somewhere in New Jersey. I think New York is just too expensive. Though Queensflip was able to find his own studio, so maybe he's going to go that route. Who knows?
Yeah, you see shit like that? That shit's stupid. No. Housing's a game. It's a really bad game. It's supposed to try you for being a sex addict. What? Damn, she be fucking niggas like that? I'm gonna try to do the terms. Hold on.
The most affordable 12-month GLP-1 program with the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy for one payment up front.
Now you really getting me tight because you're trying to push the narrative that we like that, and we not like that. So stop, because I told you I'm going to really bomb you. Stop trying to push this narrative, because it's not the facts. I don't want to be with you, and you know that. So stop it. Let's cut it before I really go there. I told you, let's cut it. You've been trying me, bitch. Stop. I'm sleeping and you trying me.
Just when we thought Offset and Cardi's divorce was finally free from the shackles of their toxic relationship, they jumped on social media to drag each other for filth. And it's even worse than whatever they had going on when they were married. Apparently, not only is Offset refusing to sign the divorce papers, but he's been begging Cardi to allow him to blow her back out because he misses her. To make matters even worse, his mama broke into Cardi's house to steal her things and has the gall to put her hands on culture. Offset did not like the fact that Cardi was airing out his business, so he also slammed her back and accused her of apparently being a freak-off addict. He said the only reason why her label put her on the shelf is because she's focused on being a 304 instead of going into the booth to record her album. Baby, things are getting real nasty between these two, and we about to get into all the messy details right now. So if y'all remember, it was exposed a little while ago that one of Offset's side pieces named Pre got pregnant by Offset around the same time that Cardi got pregnant. But he made her terminate the baby and convinced Cardi to keep hers. Well, somebody decided to be messy by hacking Offset's phone, and they exposed DMs between him and Cardi. And they proved that he did in fact make Pre get rid of her baby and force Cardi to keep hers. In the messages, Offset sent Cardi a text saying, "Keep my child," to which Cardi responded, blasting him for not stepping in and standing up for culture when his mom and baby mama tried to put their hands on her. She also went off on him for not checking his mama when she apparently broke into her house and robbed her. She said, "LOL, you don't gotta answer the phone. Just wanted to show why I don't F with you. Everyone knows about you and Pre. Everyone knows that's your girlfriend. And on top of that, you couldn't stand up like a man for culture to Shia and your mom and robbed me cold." Once these messages hit the internet, people started giving they think pieces. And that's when somebody made a real nasty comment saying they don't blame Offset for cheating on Cardi, because they would cheat too if they went on Instagram and saw girls who have the same body as his wife but can actually cook and give him a good time. I don't blame Offset. You go on Instagram and see bees that look and cook better than your wife without a wasp or BBL, you would step out too. Now this is where Cardi messed up, because instead of her ignoring this nonsense that the person said, she actually replied by showing a screenshot of her messages with Offset, in which he was begging her to let him blow her back out. He said, "Damn, you looked pretty. Come over." To which she said, "I told you, you never getting this pee again, and I meant that." He then said, "I wanna F. Why you being like that to me? You feel like you gonna be on me if you do? I want you. I miss your pee. I miss the face you make when we F." When Cardi posted this, Offset felt attacked because she basically put his personal business out there in an attempt to clap back at somebody's comment. Offset did not take this very well, and he immediately jumped on social media to blast her and expose her for apparently being a raging D addict and paying the blogs to publish lies about him. He started it off making this real shady post on IG that said, "Lies told to make me look bad.
Even though a bitch like that would make me crash it. Never mind. I'll still trade my worries and woes for theirs.
I couldn't play how you do. Pray for them kids." Offset then went on a rant about how Cardi is only focused on D and drama when her music career is hanging on for dear life. Now, for those of y'all who have been following Cardi, you already know she's been getting dragged for not releasing an album since her first one dropped in 2018. She's even expressed anxiety around releasing new music. So the fact that Offset would stoop this low to use that as an insult really means he wanted to hit a nerve. Single and miserable. Check to last 10 spaces you mention me. You getting hit at the flex though. Get your flex on mama. You ain't worried about music, you worried about D. Everybody can see all you talk about is D. And in the clubs burnt. No music, no nothing, just drama. Nobody win when the family fight. Stop capping at these people to make yourself look like the 304. It ain't the look. You a fire woman with good music, but you focus on D and trying to make me look bad. Focus, bruh. This ish whack from us both, honestly. Drop the album and go up. Cardi was not here for this, especially the last tweet, and she replied saying, "So dating because I'm single means I'm just worried about D? You sound like a dummy. Trying to be fake nice after what you did, what you wanted from the beginning. Trying to push a narrative to these people. Congratulations. F off and sign the papers today." Somebody also posted a screenshot of this text message he sent to Cardi begging her for some pee. They said, "You gonna explain this?" To which he replied, replied, "Don't go for what you see online versus real life. How I follow a MFer to my party." Now, for those of y'all wondering what he's talking about, he was in the club a few days ago to celebrate his birthday, but Cardi ended up coming to the
She do look. She do look like the 304.
exact same club. And the blog started running with the narrative that he was chasing her around, showing up wherever she was at. Cardi also did not bother to clear the air, so he was basically making it known that he was there for his birthday, not Cardi. He also posted a photo that he had on his phone of Cardi just a few days prior, and the timestamp said Saturday, 2:06 a.m. I took this, but I was stalking. He was making everybody aware that he and Cardi are still in touch and physically meet up all the time, so there was no reason for him to go out of his way to stalk her just to see her. If he wanted to see her that bad, he would just pull up to her crib. And I mean, he ain't wrong, because at the end of the day, they are co-parenting, so he doesn't really need to stalk her. Cardi, on the other hand, was making it look like he just out here being desperate, and he wasn't having it. Oh, but this was not over, y'all, because once Cardi saw all the things that Offset had posted, she got real mad and got on IG Live to go off on this man. She said Offset's recent rant led to her current boyfriend breaking up with her because he wasn't down for all that baby mama drama. Not only that, but the other men on her rosters, who she was also considering, have cut her off and moved on. Chill.
Every single.
Why don't you own apartment buildings? Seriously, why don't you own these big apartment buildings? And I get it.
Miami introduced Momo to Ari, and so they've all taken trips together. They've all eaten each other's and everything like that. And so here's what happened. The reason you see Ari back with her baby daddy G Herbo is because she found out that Carisha's best friend Momo was G Herbo.
So it looks like Young Miami has been plotting on Ari this entire time that they've been friends, because they just got into a nasty fight after Ari caught Miami and her bestie Momo getting freaky with G Herbo behind her back. This was a shock to a lot of people, because just a few weeks ago they was all up on the internet kissing each other on the mouth, and there was even rumors that they were occasionally eating each other out. Yes, girl, y'all heard that right. According to sources, Ari and Miami got into a physical altercation because of this, and Ari whooped Young Miami real bad. These two went from being freak-off buddies to now fighting over a man that don't want either one of them. You just cannot make this up. Child, let's get right into it, because their entire situation is a mess, to say the very least. Okay, so as most of y'all already know, Young Miami has been on the hunt for a new sugar daddy ever since Diddy got incriminated. And it looks like she's getting desperate, because she's now going after the exes and boyfriends of her friends. And the first person on the list was Ari's baby daddy G Herbo. I mean, do y'all remember that one episode of Carisha Please, when Miami asked Ari if Herb was still trying to sleep with her?
So I said, with all the ass, it's hard to pass on you. How's it co-parenting with Herb? We still be trying to fuck you? Because I'm quite sure when he tried your son off, he be like, damn, look at that. Damn, that ass sitting, face sitting, teeth sitting. It's like, how's the co-parenting for real? And do he still be trying to fuck you? I got two questions.
Okay, so one at a time.
Okay. Do he still be trying to fuck you?
He says things.
But I feel like I'm on Mario Jerry Springer.
But we're never in a setting where he can be like, yeah, let me, you know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't never in.
So what you be saying? What's your response?
I think it's a joke. Like, I don't even take him serious. Like, sometimes, if you overdo it, it's like, okay, stop, you doing too much. Like, I got a nigga that's, but.
Respect me.
I don't take him serious like that.
Miami wasn't asking this because she wanted to entertain us. She was actually asking to ask Ari to see if she stood a chance with G Herbo. All this tea got spilled by Tasha K when she got on her YouTube channel and made a bunch of wild allegations about Miami and Ari falling out. Now, some of y'all may have noticed this by now, but Ari stopped hanging out with Miami. and has now been cutting it up with her girlfriend Taina. This was a shock to a lot of people because Ari and Taina never really got along in the past, but now they look like they've been best friends for ages. I mean, they beef got so bad at one point that there was rumors Taina was putting her hands on your son every time Herb left him at the house with her. Not only that, but Taina was apparently the reason that Ari and Herb broke up. He was cheating on Ari with Taina the whole time they was together, even while she was pregnant. And when she left him, he still stayed with Taina and made her his official girlfriend. However, by the looks of it, they've resolved all that. Cause like
That nigga 10 out of 10. That nigga 10 out of 10. Them bitches is bad.
I said, they've been spending a lot of time together. Anybody who didn't know they was beefing before would have never guessed these two used to be enemies. That's how close they've gotten these past couple weeks. Well, according to Tasha K, Ari got so close to Taina after she found out that Young Miami's bestie Momo was sleeping with her. And Miami knew about it for months, but she didn't tell her because she felt like it was none of her business. When Ari found out about this, she confronted Miami, and that's when she found out that not only did she keep quiet about her bestie getting her cheeks slapped by Herb, but Miami herself was also getting bent over by him. Baby, you cannot make this up. Oh, but it gets even messier. Because apparently, since Ari knew she couldn't stop Miami and Momo from hooking up with Herb, she decided to become friends with Taina so she could cock block Momo and Miami from getting with Herbo. And from the looks of it, Taina didn't know that the only reason that Ari was getting close to her was because she had ulterior motives. She really out here thinking Ari actually like her. The whole time, she's just using her to control.
What if they eating each other's pussy? Man, he is living a life. I need to start rapping.
Her ex-boyfriend and who that man's sleeping with. Y'all, don't this sound like something straight up out of a Tyler Perry movie? And Tasha K claims a source that's in Miami and Ari's circle spilled this tea to her. And as it stands now, Ari ain't got no interest in ever being friends with Miami again.
Y'all have seen that G Herbo has been spending a lot of time with Ari. Ari's been doing lives and G Herbo will be in the back, and as he's moving, her head will move. So she'll try to like cover the live. Like people's been watching, like I thought these three had a toxic relationship. What's going on? She hasn't liked Tiana. Apparently Tiana started fucking G Herbo while he was with Ari. It's really messy, okay? Ari is
disappear from social media and do this.
Honcho.
Yeah, all right. Hey, what's your sign? What's your sign?
Libra.
What's that? What type of people are those?
Honcho. Hold on.
Huh?
I said honcho.
I know. No, I'm saying, what's your birthday sign?
Honcho.
I know you're married. I'm saying.
But Libra.
And what are those people like?
Honcho.
Break that down.
Okay, come on, okay. Libras are like the balance scale.
We can't see.
Scale.
Get in the camera. We can't see you. You got back up.
It's the balance scale.
No,